Press the bell icon for all the updates. जब से सोनाली बेंद्रे को कैंसर होने की खबर सामने आई है, तब से बॉलीवुड में कई लोग आए हैं उनके सपोर्ट में और कई लोग कैंसर के बारे में अवेयरनेस भी पैदा कर रहे हैं। और इन्हीं में से एक है ऋतिक रोशन की बहन सुनैना रोशन, जिन्होंने किया था सर्विकल कैंसर से बैटल और वो अभी है बिल्कुल ठीक। सुनैना ने लिखा है इमोशनल और ऑनेस्ट ब्लॉग अपनी कैंसर से जंग के बारे में और उनके ब्लॉग के है ये कुछ एक्सर्प्ट्स। I remember I was sitting with my mom and dad in the waiting area of the hospital for us to be called in by the doctor, but only my father was called inside, and that triggered my anxiety as to why the doctor had only asked my dad to come in first. And after about 20 minutes, my mom and I were called in too. I was not told anything yet about my condition, but I could sense something was amiss because my dad's face was flushed pink. Anyways, a week later, I was to undergo sonography, and surprisingly, my entire family was there with me for a seemingly regular sonography because they all knew that I had cervical cancer, and they were all contemplating how they would break that news to me. As I mentioned, I had already sensed something was amiss, so immediately after my sonography test, I asked the doctor up front and in a matter-of-fact tone if I had cancer, and she honestly answered in positive, confirming the same. When I came out, to the relief of my anxious and stressed family, I announced that I knew I had cancer so they can breathe easy, since they didn't have to be the harbinger of bad news. They were surprised to my absolute normal acceptance of the same. My brother visited all the best doctors in quest of finding the right one for me, treating me here in India as I was against the idea of being treated abroad. Finally, his doctor friend referred to us to Dr. Sachin Almil, and only after having all his doubts cleared did Dugu agree to let me be treated under the able hands of Dr. Sachin. When I was scheduled for my first chemotherapy, I was taken to an ICU as a precautionary measure, so I would not develop any complications, and even each drug was given to me separately. In all of this chaos, the only question I would keep asking the doctor was if I would lose my hair. I must have asked him the same question at least 15 times, if not more. The fact is that the dreaded word cancer did not really worry me, but losing my hair or shaving my hair did. My family never saw me in tears during this phase of my fighting cancer. Never once did I get depressed or negative about it, but the thought of losing hair did really depress me. My brother would scan the net and ask all possible people to see if there was any way a cancer patient did not lose hair, but he found no solution. It apparently was an unavoidable side effect of the chemo sessions, and one had to accept this fact as it is. After seeing me bald, my dad would try to make me feel better by joking about how the shape of my head was better than his. The only person who was most affected seeing me bald was my brother. He tried his best to control his tears in front of me. He was hoping there may be even 0.1% chance that his sister didn't have to shave her head off. One of the people who called me during this phase of my life to check on me and give me support was Priyanka Chopra. She was not sure if it was okay to call me, not knowing how I would react, or if I was traumatic and low. She actually consulted Dugu, and only after he said it was okay, she called me. When we spoke, she surprisingly asked if she was actually talking to me because for a patient diagnosed with cancer, I was anything but depressed. She couldn't believe that I was so full of life even at that point. Women sometimes feel that breast cancer and cervical cancer is not a common disease, but that's not true. Please give yourself some importance and get yourself checked regularly. Do reach out to people who are scared to come out in the open. Your support may save a life. तो आपका क्या कहना है इस ब्लॉग पोस्ट के बारे में? हमें कमेंट्स में जरूर बताइए।